Hey YouTube, it's A Michelle, aka Amber. I am back with my second video. I want to start the video by apologizing if you guys hear a man's voice in the background. That's my boyfriend playing video games. He started playing video games right when I decided I wanted to make this video. He's online talking to his buddies. I've asked him to be quiet, but you ladies with gamer boyfriends know I can't reach him at this point. He's gone. He's in their world. He's hype. If you hear him yell at the screen, please excuse him and please excuse me. I also wanted to thank everybody who watched my video, my last video. And I also wanted to thank the people who subscribed to my channel. I'm really excited to have people to come on this journey with me. That makes me so happy. So thank you. Let's get into this video now. You read correctly. Your eyes did not deceive you. I only have 352 sister locks. I discovered it the other day. It's not a joke. It's not a gag. I counted them. I counted them again. 352 is my number. Am I upset about this? Yes. Yes. Will I get over it? Probably. With time, I will get over it. For those of you who don't know, the SISTERLOCKS brand states that their average minimum is 400 locks. So that's why I'm upset, because I ended up with fewer locks than the average minimum, even though I have average density hair. How did this happen, you may wonder? Did she not do her research? Did she not go to a consultant that was on the registry? Was she not paying attention? False to all of those things. I did so much research. I did go with a consultant on the SISTERLOCKS registry, and I paid painstakingly close attention. Yet it still happened to me. So let me start with this story. It starts at my consultation back in November. I came to that consultation ready with so many questions. After having done months and months and months of research, I had about 28 questions I wanted to ask this lady who turned out to be my loctician. I asked her all kinds of things. What did she think about the SISTERLOCKS brand? How long she's been doing SISTERLOCKS, all of those things. But one of the most important questions I asked her was how many locks she thought she would have, she thought she would establish in my head based on my density and my hair texture. She looked at my head, she looked all through my hair. She's like, you have a lot of hair, you have tightly coiled hair. I believe that you're gonna have well over 400, if not 500 locks. And I was excited. That is what I wanted to hear, because I had heard so many horror stories from other sister lockers who went to get their sister locks established, and they ended up with way fewer locks than they expected. And as a result, they were told later down the line that they didn't have sister locks. I was terrified of that happening to me. I did not want that to happen. So I was asking, how many locks do you think I'll have, in order to ensure that we were on the same page, and that didn't happen. So I thought we were on the same page. I was like, 400 to 500 locks, I can work with that, great. Fast forward to my establishment day. My establishment was done over 3 days. That is important. We'll come back to that later. 3 days my establishment was done over. We had agreed that we would, take 3 days to do it. I took 3 days off of work. It was excellent. It was all set. So she does the parting. She starts on my head. She does the middle, and then she gets to the sides. She's counting each lock that is in. It's so distracting, right? God, sorry. Anyway, so she does the front of my head. The way she counts, she finishes a section, and then she counts the locks that are in that section. In the front of my head, I think this section had maybe like 30 locks, like the front, middle, and the sides had like 20 locks. And I was like, oh, that's a low number of locks. I'm a little bit concerned. But if you guys remember, my edges are very, very, very thin. See, very thin. So I was like, that's probably why I don't have many locks in that section. So I'm patient. I'm like, I'll just wait to see how the other sections turn out. So she starts doing the sections toward the back of my head, and I'm noticing she's still counting 30-ish locks per section. And I only have like 9 sections in my head, and I'm like, I don't know, sis. Like, I don't know. With the way you're parting, I don't think we're gonna get to 400 locks. If you put 30 in each section, and I have 9 sections, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. And she was like, "Don't worry about it. We're gonna get to 400. You just need to sit tight and relax." So I try to, even though it goes against the very fiber of my human being, I tried to let her do her job, and I try to just sit and be patient. This is a lock journey, right? You got to be patient. So I'm sitting and I'm being patient. We get to the last 2 sections of my head. I've counted at this point that I have 280 locks, and we're at like the last 1 or 2 sections. And I'm like, you think you're going to get another 120 locks minimum out of these last 2 sections? And she was like, yeah, I think we're going to get to 400. And I'm like, I don't think we're going to. It's not adding up. And she's like, oh, you don't think so? And I was like, aren't you supposed to tell me? I don't know. No, I don't think so. But what do you think? And she was like, I think we should just wait and see. And so I'm like, God, okay. I know we're not going to get to 400 at this point, but I'm hoping and praying that we're going to. I'm like, all right, we'll wait and see. We finish up. She does the final tally. She tells me that I have 363 locks. I'm not thrilled, but I'm tired and I want to go home. And so I do. I go home. I try to accept it. A few days ago, though, I get curious and I decide to count my own locks. And I'm like, I just want to count them. I want to see, maybe I have more than 363. Maybe we miscounted. Turns out I have less than 363. I have 352. Now, she could have miscounted. She could have lied. I'm not sure. All I know is that I felt misled, and it's just really not a good feeling. I was not okay with 363, but to find out I have even fewer than that feels pretty terrible. So I talked to her about it, and I'm like, I just don't understand why I ended up with so few locks on my head. I have average density. You told me that I had a lot of hair. You told me you thought I would have 400 to 500 locks. How did I end up with just 350? And she was like, oh, well, you have a small head, and I didn't really look at your head well during your consultation. I thought I knew what your hair density was, but I really didn't know. And so that's what happened. And she's like, but your locks look great. Like, it looks fine. You have the right amount of locks for your head. It's excellent. And I'm just, in my heart, I'm like, that's not sitting right, because I've been told a lot of things in my life. I've never been told I have a small head. I know I don't have a small head. I've always been told I have a giant coconut head. So for her to tell me I have a small head and that's why I have so few locks, I'm like, sis, like, I appreciate it, but I don't have a small head. Like, I feel like you're lying. So, I try to sit with it. I really do. But it didn't feel good. I felt like I paid for Sister Locks. I paid for a lot of locks. It was expensive. And I didn't end up with enough, in my opinion. I didn't end up with as many as I could have had and should have had, in my opinion. So I reach out to her again, and I'm like, I don't feel good about this. She asked me to wait a couple weeks and then to let her know what my ultimate decision was. So yesterday I go back to her for my first retightening, and I'm like, I still don't feel good about the number of locks on my head. I feel misled. I feel a little bit like things aren't right. And she's like, you know what? I will fix them for you, but I'm so busy. I don't have time to fix your hair all at once. She offered to fix them little by little over the course of the next several months to a year. And to her credit, yes, she did offer to fix them, but over several months to a year, that means that for that entire year, I would feel like my head wasn't complete. I would feel like things weren't right for an entire year, and that it's not what I paid for, and that doesn't feel good. And so ultimately I rejected that. I was like, no, I either want them fixed with urgency, like with some quickness, or not at all, because I don't want to spend the next year of my life worrying about how many locks I have and feeling like my hair is still in progress, still not complete. And so she was like, fine. So she did my retightening. I get home and I'm just sad. I'm sad because I feel gypped, you guys. Honestly, I feel a little bit gypped. I feel like she's not telling me the truth. I don't know why she gave me so few locks. I do know that my parts in the back are big. They are quite large. I wish I could, let me see if I can show you guys. Oh gosh, my knees. Hold on. All right, can you guys see? Yeah, okay. So my parts in the back are quite large. Now, she can say she did that for density reasons. She can say she did that for all kinds of reasons. In my mind, the reason she did it was because she got to the back on the very last day. She was afraid she was going to run out of time, and so she started doing them bigger to save herself time and to just get it done. And I wish she would have talked to me about it before she just made the decision to put larger locks in my head. So I have parted ways with her. I reached out to her yesterday and I was like, you know what? I appreciate everything you've done. I appreciate the painstaking work you put into my head, but I feel misled. I feel a little bit lied to and gypped and worried. And I don't want to continue my journey with you because of all of these negative emotions that are tied to it now. You guys know what I mean? So I parted ways with her. She wished me best of luck on the rest of my journey. I am finding another consultant to do my retightenings. And hopefully just have a more positive journey after this. I've decided to just accept my hair. I'm not going to do anything to it. I think they're so... Yes, they're big. Yes, I'm not happy with the count, but they've been in so long at this point. I feel like they're settling, and I don't want to rip them out at this point. I feel like if we should have addressed it weeks ago. She should have heard me out weeks ago. But now I'm going to leave them, and I'm just going to go on this journey and just see what 350 sister locks end up looking like. So come on this journey with me, you guys. Let's see how these end up growing. If there's anybody out there, any sister locker out there who has less than 400 locks, please comment below, hit me up. I want to talk to you. I want to know more about what I can expect. But if not, I'm just going to go on this journey and we're going to see how it works out. And hopefully it works out well. That's where I'm at right now. So thank you guys for listening and watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.